Yeah, this video is in regards to the fake hate that Poetik Flakko is getting. Now, I don't really like him that much, to be honest. I've noticed he likes to throw black people under the bus. I'm talking about African people under the bus in order to try and get a pat on his head from FBAs. He reminds me of Godfrey in that sense. But I will say this. The likes of O'Shea, Duke Jackson, Duo Almighty, all these other FBA creators, they didn't seem to have much of an issue with Flakko at all until he made the mistake of showing people how much money he made in a month. He showed everyone that he made over $120,000 in a month from going at that Chud the Builder. That's when all of a sudden O'Shea's ears pricked up, and all of a sudden O'Shea was looking for an excuse to have an issue with Flakko. Let's just be real. Because you see, O'Shea, he took his feet off of going after white supremacists once he saw the FBA grift. So instead, he makes videos demonizing Africans, talking about Africans all the time. Because apparently, Africans are the biggest enemy to him, although he's moved to Africa. But apparently, white supremacy, I mean, we're finding all these so-called FBAs being hung from trees, all this kind of stuff. But apparently, Africans who make the smallest immigrant group in America, apparently that's where his focus is on, in trying to get black Americans to hate Africans and to target them. That's the main priority. So let me get this right. Flakko is going after racist people who are going after black people. And O'Shea, the proud FBA man, he's just going after black people. I mean, that's most of where all his anger and everything's targeted at. Black Africans and black people in general. So because O'Shea saw that, hey, Flakko, you mean to tell me that you going after racists has netted you all this money? And me going after Africans hasn't netted me so much money, and my views have declined? This isn't right. And then he started going after the moneymaker, because he knew if he started attacking Flakko, he would get more views upon him. It's got nothing to do with anything else. It's just all about money. And for some reason, Flakko felt that he had to answer for himself. He went on that Jew Almighty's channel. So Jew Almighty, he's one of these FBAs, but he's not an outspoken FBA from what I've seen, where he'll just announce he is, because he's probably seen the kind of negative stuff that these people call themselves FBA. It's pretty much a hate group. It won't take long before they end up being designated a hate group. So Jew Almighty, he wants the crowd, the FBA crowd, but he hasn't outwardly said that he's one of them. But he'll bring up Poetik Flakko onto his channel and talk about this anti-black stuff, whilst Jew Almighty, for you to be an FBA person, that means you've been listening to the stuff they're saying, but you haven't made any videos talking about anti-black stuff against Africans, Caribbeans, any immigrant group at all. So that says to me that you're okay with anti-black stuff as long as it's not anti-black American, but you're okay with black Americans saying anti-black stuff against Africans, Caribbeans, Haitians, all those other things. So this is why Flakko should never have gone on this show, and if he was, he should have stood his ground. How the hell are you going to have a black American who is pretty much trying to appeal to these FBA crowds anyway, have answered to them about anti-black anything when they're the most anti-black group going? They're just a bunch of Republican shills under the tutelage of Tariq Nasheed, the Republican shill. He'll throw away a Democratic shill every 5 seconds, but he is a Republican shill. In fact, he's had white supremacist Republicans who are anti-reparations. He's had like 3 of them on his shows, and he hasn't pressed any of them in regards to reparation. One of them told them straight, actually, yeah, he said he's against reparations and it's ridiculous. Did Tariq push back against that? No, because he's a good little boy, and he doesn't give a damn about reparations. The only reason he even mentioned reparations when he was starting his FBA grift is to get you guys to join along it under the carrot on the string in front of the donkey. Like, yeah, reparations, man, that's what we're after. But then you went and voted for Donald Trump and his administration, who are all anti-reparations. That makes sense, doesn't it? Notice how Tariq and these people, they never actually ever call out the Republicans or Trump at all. Yeah, that's what you call a Republican shill. But a lot of you are so stupid that you don't connect the dots.